Tonight, concerns over a 3-tonne fishing net found near a popular breeding sea lion colony in Port Lincoln. And the town of Orroroo turns pink for cancer awareness and local farmers doing it tough.
This is Southern Cross News with Abby Donaldson.
Good evening, happy Friday. One of Port Lincoln's shark cage diving operators has been left shocked after hauling in a discarded 3-tonne fishing net from the water. And most worrying of all, it was discovered at a marine park home to a breeding sea lion colony.
Imagine finding some floating debris in the ocean and doing the right thing by trying to remove it, only to discover it's a giant ghost net weighing nearly 3 tonnes and up to 50 metres in length.
It took us half an hour to get it on board, and it's not as if we sort of sat there for half that time wondering what to do. It was like, okay, grab it with the crane, pull it on board. I've done this stuff before and it just kept coming. It just didn't stop.
Adventure Bay Charters found it on their way to a sea lion tour near the Sir Joseph Banks group of islands. The area is a marine reserve and a popular breeding ground.
Half a mile away from a breeding colony for Australian sea lions, and we know how inquisitive they are, and if one of those get entangled in there, this would be a whole different story.
Pretty shocked and really concerned to see it within a marine park and so close to an area where we frequently see sea lions and dolphins and even whales.
So where did it come from and how did it get there? Well, no one really knows.
Imagine it's, a trawling net, so it would be from a fishing background, but whether that came from, an accidental loss of a net or, another background, I'm not sure.
The discovery of the net was reported to Fisheries and has since been brought here to the local landfill site.
It literally just goes into trash and ended up at the tip with the big pile of net that's out there from the fishing industry.
Casey Trelaw, Southern Cross News.
A 26-year-old Port Augusta man is being charged with lighting 2 fires this morning. Just before 6 o'clock, police and fire crews were called to Old Power Station Road at Port Augusta following reports of a bin fire. Then around 7 o'clock, crews responded to the call of a grass fire on Whiting Parade a short distance away from the first blaze. Police spoke with local witnesses and then subsequently located and arrested the man. A 35-year-old woman was taken to the Port Lincoln Hospital this morning after a horrifying T-bone collision between her car and a small truck. Emergency services rushed to the scene at the intersection of Western Approach Road and Pine Freezers Road. The woman suffered minor injuries. Police are still investigating the cause of the crash. Residents in the mid-north town of Orroroo have taken to the streets to mark the end of Pinktober. As well as raising cancer awareness, the day was all about boosting the morale of local drought-affected farmers.
Amidst the drought, Orroroo has been raining pink. The month-long fundraising festival rounded up with a celebration on the high street, with everything and everyone sticking to the strict coloured dress code.
Got staff members tonight that's working, and I got the same get up for him, and he'll be working and wearing it, and if he doesn't, he can find another job.
Community spirit was at an all-time high, with residents more than willing to take part.
It's about a lot of mental health and well-being too, and we've had tourists pull us up when we've been decorating and standing around and saying how good it is, how uplifting. We've heard some most beautiful stories, haven't we?
Behind all the celebrations was a more serious message, opening up about difficult dry conditions and cancer awareness. Both are issues requiring extreme perseverance and resilience. And there's some unlucky members of the community who have lived through both.
I've got a mother that's fought cancer, and I lost 2 of my dearest friends within weeks of each other.
All proceeds from the month-long event will be donated to cancer research and helping drought-affected farmers. Dominic Beaton, Southern Cross News.
Following the outbreak of the deadly POMS disease in 2016, it's predicted Eyre Peninsula's oyster industry won't bounce back until the end of 2020. But local producers are remaining optimistic.
Record low spat production has delivered a devastating blow for the oyster industry.
This year, production will have dropped by 70%. So our growers are down to 30% of what they would normally produce, which obviously is very, very difficult for them.
The outbreak of the Pacific oyster's mortality disease in 2016 caused spat stocks to come crashing down.
There have been job losses, definitely, in the industry, and some businesses have restricted their operations.
But it's not all doom and gloom. Our local oyster industry set to become buoyant once more, thanks to the opening of new hatcheries and growth of existing businesses producing local and POMS-free spat.
We are, I suppose, quietly optimistic with the spat that's coming through for this spring-summer.
Meaning the average production of oysters isn't expected to bounce back until the end of 2020. However, for Angel Seafood, Zach Howman, his business is already starting to see light at the end of the tunnel.
We're actually starting to come out the other side of it. So our production's starting to increase now. So we're probably at around 50% of production.
While production might be low, oyster prices are looking prosperous for our producers.
40% increased price on 2 years ago. So it's obviously helping things a fair bit to keep the positivity in the industry.
Casey Treloar, Southern Cross News.
Gotta love going back to school. Well, still to come tonight, what to expect at this weekend's Silver City Cup. And a trip around the world makes a pit stop in Port Augusta. Welcome back. The stage is set for a cracking weekend of racing at Broken Hill's Silver City Cup. Thousands are expected to come through the gates, and Patrick Reinke joins me now from the local racetrack. And what's it like down there, Pat?
Well, Abby, it's looking absolutely fantastic down here at the Broken Hill racetrack. This year's Silver City Cup is shaping up to be one of the best in recent years. The trackside marquees are still the best place to enjoy the afternoon, the shades providing plenty of protection on what will be a fine and sunny day. 6 races are pencilled in for tomorrow, 42 horses spread across them. The recent rainfall in Broken Hill over the past few weeks has made the track very moist and a delight for visiting trainers. The Silver City Racing Club president saying it's a day not to be missed.
It should be an action-packed event with all the horses and plenty to do for fashions on the field and also stuff for the kids to do. So come down, come out tomorrow, come out to the racecourse and enjoy a great day of racing.
And local cobbers will be keeping an eye on the race goers.
We just want everyone to have a fun and safe time. We're going to be doing RBT, RDT, and if you're asked to leave a licensed premises, be it the Cup or one of the pubs in town, you must leave straight away.
Local Silverton trainer Barry Murray is excited to have a runner in the Cup, despite almost touching 70 years of age. Keep an eye on Signoria in race 1, which is fresh off a win in Pooncarie.
She's only won the 2 races like a maiden in the Class 1, but she's sort of right up there with the horses that won multiple races, you know what I mean? It's going to be a hard race for her, but she's working well and, you know, she's a nice little mare, yeah.
And Abby, any last-minute race goers can buy tickets at the gate.
Thanks, Pat. Looks like a day not to be missed. Well, meantime, more sculptures could soon be popping up in Broken Hill with a plan to install them in a local nature park. City Council is looking at the Ridderford Arboretum as a potential home for the artworks. The sculptures were originally planned to be installed along the city's main street.
I'm confident that it's going to be a real addition, another thing, an extra thing for people to have a look at and to focus their minds on.
The sculptures are expected to be installed by mid-2019. Students and teachers from Port Augusta's Carlton School are putting the final touches on preparations ahead of the school's 50th birthday celebrations this weekend. The event is set to draw over 300 former students back through the school gates.
Cleaning up the grounds before Carlton cracks the half-century.
Feeling really excited actually because I've been here such a long time. Done the 40th, but now 50 seems to be more exciting.
The Port Augusta School is celebrating this special milestone and will be holding an event this weekend. Singing and dancing performances from current pupils are on the schedule, as well as the chance to reconnect with former staff and students.
A very jam-packed day.
Attendees will also be able to take a visual trip back in time with Carlton's 50-year history timeline. Originally opened in 1968 as a primary school, it ran for 30 years before adding years 7, 8 and 9. Teachers say there have been many students who have excelled into bigger and better things.
Our students have gone on to nursing or health, trades in the mine and music. as well as teaching.
The upcoming celebrations have also prompted keen interest from current students about the school's history.
It's exciting for them to look back on photos of their parents that have come through this school as well.
Staff say people are travelling as far as New South Wales and Queensland for the ceremony, and they're encouraging all former students to step foot on school grounds once more.
Just everybody come along and enjoy the day.
Garth Burley, Southern Cross News.
It's lights, camera, action in Whyalla this weekend, with the city hosting its inaugural film festival. 2 feature films from the Adelaide Film Festival will be showcased, along with some content from local filmmakers.
Whyalla is putting on a show. Tomorrow night we'll see the city's first film festival, a local celebration of the silver screen. Michael Hughes is curating the event and says movies are great ways of telling stories.
I really enjoy about watching films is just a chance to sort of escape real life. You can sit in the cinema and the lights go down.
2 feature productions from the recent Adelaide Film Festival will be screened. The first one is Ghost Stories, which features Martin Freeman in a comedy horror production. Also screening is I Used to Be Me, a revealing look into fangirling.
People who are just obsessed on another level, which is very interesting to look at.
And in a treat, some Whyalla filmmakers will also be on show. Life Lessons is one of them, a documentary that shows the relationship between a group of children and residents at Whyalla Aged Care.
Interviewed them.
That made you remember all them years ago.
Took their young people and introduced them to all of the older residents of the aged care facility. And they interviewed each other and talked about their lives.
John Hunt, Southern Cross News.
If driving around Australia isn't a big enough journey, a Dutch national has gone one better, taking his wheels all the way from the Netherlands to Sydney. The traveller has made a stop in the Upper Spencer Gulf, and it's not your average car.
But this isn't your average road trip, or average car for that matter. Under the hood of this blue hatchback, there isn't a petrol tank. It's fully electric.
My point is to, like, if I can drive from Holland to the other side of the world, then why can we not use these cars for daily use?
In the driver's seat is Wiebe Wacker, who came up with the idea of the Plug Me In project, which spans across 3 continents. But with minimal money for the trip, he relies on the kindness of strangers around the world to help him out.
You can select your location and then you can offer me either a meal or a place to sleep or energy to charge the car.
The car can only travel 200 kilometres on a single charge, and finding somewhere down under to juice up the battery has proved challenging.
2 times that I could not reach the place where I was going to plan to, and I need to get a tow to reach the next charging point.
Wiebe hopes to break down any preconceived prejudices about electric vehicles and visit places around the world doing their part for sustainability, and believes Port Augusta is positioned well.
My goal with this trip is to accelerate the transition to a more zero carbon future. I saw like Port Augusta is doing pretty good on renewable energy, but around the world it's going pretty slow.
To follow Wiebe's journey, visit plugmein.com.au. Garth Burley, Southern Cross News.
Stay with us. After the break, we'll have cricket tips. And in the weather, after another stunning day in the Spencer Gulf, we're in for a change this weekend with light showers forecast. I'll have all the details soon. Hello again. Well, cricket fans in Port Augusta got the chance to hear stories from one of Australia's most famous cricketers, Doug Walters. The 74 Test veteran stopped off at the West Augusta Football Club as part of a speaking tour around rural Australia. Meantime, cricket is in full swing around the regions. Here's our local tipsters with who they're picking this weekend.
Hello and welcome to round 3 of Port Pirie Cricket. This round starts with the undefeated Sully North up against Southport at Memorial Oval on Saturday. Sully North should be too strong and take the points in this one. At Port Oval on Saturday, it's Wandera taking on props. Both sides look strong and this match should be a beauty. I'm tipping props.
G'day and welcome to round 3 of Port Augusta Cricket Tips. This week we see Central Augusta take on South Augusta at Etzer. Central Augusta are missing quite a few players and started the season off in a not too good fashion, so South should win that match. On Sunday we see Westies take on Quorn. Westies have won one match but also lost another and were beaten quite easy last week, while Quorn have won 2 in a row. So I can't see Westies beating Quorn. So there are my two winners, South Augusta and Quorn.
Saturday we'll see arch rivals Rapina and Central Whyalla battle it out. Rapina would be delighted with their new recruit David Dunbar. Central would be looking to welcome back Isaac Smith, Isaac Chinnery and Jared Dunbar back. My tip, Central Whyalla. North will play South on Sunday at Memorial Oval. North had great performances last week from Chris Beattie and Ryan Parker, while South welcomed Ryan Brett into their team who made 46.
Welcome to this week's Port Lincoln Cricket Tips. First game of the round is Waybacks and Todd River at Centenary. Be a good game this one. Both teams have had one win, one loss. I reckon the hard-hitting Todd River will win this match. Next game sees Charlton and Tasmans. Going to tip Charlton to get over the line in this one. And in the final game, a match of the round out at Whangaree, Lincoln South travel out to take on SES. Lincoln South up and about early in the season, but SES all-round team and will get the job done out there this weekend.
Second round of 2020 cricket in Broken Hill this week, when we played on Sunday due to the Silver City Cup on Saturday. Central take on South in the first game at 12:30 on Sunday. Central get back a couple of key batsmen this week, and I think they'll be very competitive. In fact, I think they'll probably scrape home with the points over a enthusiastic South side. In the second game, North showed a fair bit of promise last week without Tobias Hack. He returns this week, and West struggled a little bit. They have players returning this weekend, but I can't see them being strong enough to overcome a North outfit.
And now let's check out the weekend forecast. Well, it was an absolutely gorgeous day around the Gulf to end the week. Nothing but sunny skies. Port Augusta and Broken Hill 31 the top today. On the satellite, cloud over Western SA in a deep trough is triggering some light showers and thunderstorms. Checking out the waters for your weekend. Easterly shifting southeasterly winds up to 15 knots tomorrow, seas at a metre. And we're in for a cool change for your Saturday. Temperatures dropping for most districts, and we could see the odd shower or two. Whyalla will reach a top of 22 degrees. Cloudy conditions in Port Lincoln this weekend with temps in the low 20s. Skies will clear for a mostly fine day on Monday and Tuesday though. Cleveland Woodnut could see a sprinkle of rain over the coming days, but it will be warming back up again to start the week. Woodnut 32 the top on Tuesday. And after a cloudy day on Saturday, there's the chance of a shower on Sunday too, but it will be mostly fine. And again, lovely sunshine for Monday and Tuesday. Port Augusta warming back up to 33 degrees by Tuesday. And some scattered light showers here too, but again the dial will rise into the high 20s on Monday and a sunny outlook for Tuesday. Broken Hill heading for a top of 33 degrees. Well, I'll tell you who else has been enjoying these gorgeous conditions lately is the Sea Lions. Port Lincoln's Calypso Star Charters sent in some footage from a swim at Langton Island. Look how beautiful the water looks. That's definitely on my bucket list. Well, these gorgeous creatures wrap up all our news this Friday. Have a lovely weekend and good night.